Why do black Americans say they're not African when they clearly are? Tell me, how are we African?
Look, I had to make a video response to you because this is absolutely sick and disgusting behavior of you throwing your blackness under the bus.
Why are y'all mad that we're being compared to Africans? Why is that upsetting you? Why is that bothering you? I've seen several videos, or I'm seeing several think pieces on black Americans talking about how we don't look like Africans. Nigga, we black. We all black.
You are welcome to my YouTube channel. I always appreciate you for coming back to watch my videos. My name is Don Cyrus. Those foundational black Americans, the FBA, I call them fear of being African because these people have already accepted defeat from the white supremacists. They have already accepted defeat, that they are inferior. And we, the Africans, are not ready to accept any defeat. You were taken from Africa and you are African. That is who you are. If you are trying to run away from yourself, claiming white identity, that is your own cup of tea. That is your own ignorance. We are not ready to join you guys. So stop talking bad about Africa and Africans because you are a product out of us. You were taken right from Africa through slavery, and that is who you are.
Why do black Americans say they're not African when they clearly are? Tell me, how are we African? Tell me, what makes me African? My family not born in Africa. My great-grandmother not from Africa. My great-great-grandparents not from Africa. Nobody in my family is from Africa that I can trace 300 to 400 years. Nobody. We keep records of who we are here in America. Tell me, how am I African? Now listen, I'm going to give you this. And I'm a thinking person, right? I look at things from both sides. And I do the comparison game. I look at Canada. I look at certain parts of South America. I look at all of the Caribbean islands. I look at Haiti. I look at the Dominican Republic. I look at the UK. I look at Australia. I look at all these places where there's mostly melanated black people at. And I can see African in them. I can see how they can be African. I can see why they might look at themselves as African because they carry the African ways. I'm just being straight up. They do. They carry them African ways. Me as a black American, there's nothing African about me. Culturally, spiritually, ancestor-wise, none of that. There's nothing about me and a lot of people like myself that's African. And I'm going to go a step further. This African theory thing, I'm done with it. I do not believe in this Africa that we all come from Africa now. I'm starting to lean towards what my brothers and sisters, my indigenous Indians, my black natives, the people that the aborigines on this land, I'm starting to lean towards them what they say about this African theory thing. And I'm done with saying that we all come from Africa and we do not. We don't think like y'all. We don't move like y'all. We're more innovative. You get what I'm saying? Like, we create things constantly. We're more progressive than the majority of the people around the world, yo. I'm just being straight up. How we think, how we live, how we move. Things that we have been through. The stuff that we've been through in America, and by us being the belly of the beast with the white man, no group in the world could overcome that. None. I see how things will happen to y'all countries when the white folks don't even really be there. They just have a puppet over there to do y'all dirty. And I just see how y'all can't recover. We dealt with the devil on our own. And we still resilient. We so resilient. People, white people, yo people, all groups of people got to use the bottom 5 to 10% of black Americans that do nigga shit. That's how great we are. Y'all gotta go to the negative of us. Cause y'all know if y'all go to the positive of black Americans, we'll run past y'all like Sakara Richardson in the Olympic trials, bro. So, we're not in y'all, bro. Talk to the Caribbeans about being African, okay? Talk to the South Americans that are black about being African. Talk to the UK people about how they African. Don't talk to us about being African.
You know, when I think of this ignorance of black Americans, I get so bored because people like Martin Luther King Jr. laid his life for you people to be enlightened, to know your history, and know that you have equal rights, and know that you are not inferior. And through that, he was killed. Let me tell you that anyone who tries to liberate the African people, the black people, no matter where you find yourself across the globe, you become an enemy to the white supremacists. They will come for all of us one day. But the truth is the truth. We must speak the truth without any fear. We must say it as it is, call a spade without any fear. So the FBA, the so-called foundational black Americans, are letting us down. They are letting Martin Luther King Jr. down, although he's dead and gone. And his struggles has become nothing. It has become wasted because his people are turning to join the enemy. The enemy knows you are not one of them. How can an African who is being taken from Africa all of a sudden become an European lineage? All of a sudden become a native black American? We know the natives of America. They are not people who look like you. They don't have this kind of hair. They got straight hair. If you have watched the movie called Apocalypto, that is how exactly the Native Americans look like. So these Africans in diaspora who are trying to claim the native for themselves, I call them cowards. I call them people who are so much afraid of who they are. People without courage. People without integrity. People without self-dignity. People who fear who they are.
Look, I had to make a video response to you because this is absolutely sick and disgusting behavior of you throwing your blackness under the bus by saying that the average black American is 25% European. No, you are not. The average black American is nowhere near 25% European. So why are you downplaying your blackness? Why are you trying to go towards whiteness? Stop. Black is beautiful. It's beautiful to be black. Us mulattoes are not, we don't claim mulatto because we're trying to get away from our blackness. It's because we are mulatto. So when you're telling us that you're basically mulatto, man, it's disgusting. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your African ancestry. You're probably 90 to 95% African ancestry, maybe 5% European at the most. Quit trying to put whiteness or European on a pedestal. That's exactly what you're doing. It's like you're begging to be European. Stop. I'm being dead ass serious. It's disgusting. I'm proud of my African ancestry. I'm proud to be 50%. If I was 75%, I'll be proud. If I was 90% African, I would be proud. So stop with this downplaying of your ancestry, bro. It's disgusting. It's racist towards blacks. And we don't like it over here because us mulattoes are not racist towards blacks, right? But you clearly are racist to yourself. Quit putting the European standard on a pedestal. Quit trying to add percentages onto your DNA.
Not long ago, the whole of black people across the globe, all the African diaspora, came together in support of Ibrahim Traore. Because we had a meeting going on, a plot going on in the United States of America using one of our own, Michael Langley, to eliminate Ibrahim Traore. And the whole of black people across the globe came together, protest in support of Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso in West Africa. And all of a sudden, this narrative of FBA, this narrative of native black Americans splitting hatred, hating their own kind in Africa. All of a sudden, this tells me that the white supremacist movement is funding this organization calling themselves native black Americans who hate their own kind so much. If you're listening to me as a black person or African, I want you to come back to your senses if you're getting lost. I want you to realize that we are not enemies of each other. I want you to realize that we are one people. They fear our togetherness. That is what they are trying to prevent from happening.
You know, it comes to a point where y'all start pissing me off. As a black American, black Americans are really starting to piss me off with the anti-blackness, because that's what it is. Why are y'all mad that we're being compared to Africans? Why is that upsetting you? Why is that bothering you? I've seen several videos, or I'm seeing several think pieces on black Americans talking about how we don't look like Africans. Nigga, we black. We all black. Whether you from the United Kingdom, you know what I'm saying, Europe, whether you a black American, wherever the fuck, give no fucks. Why are you getting mad that we're being compared to Africans? We look like them. Why are y'all getting mad that they're saying that we look alike, that we have similarities? That I've seen some videos of Africans saying that, you know, black Americans look African, like there's really no distinction. And I think y'all don't understand that two things or multiple things can be true at once. They can. First of all, Africa is a continent with many different languages, many different cultures, many different countries within the continent. So yes, there are distinctions. Like somebody that's from Sudan, like a Sudanese person, you could tell how they look versus a black person that was born in Britain. To me, I could see the distinctions, but I could also see the similarities as well. We do look alike. Yes, there are some distinctions, but there are a lot of similarities. So I'm trying to figure out why the fuck y'all mad that we're being compared to them. Why is that? It's like y'all are offended that we're being called African. And it's pissing me off, because if somebody told me I look African, bitch, that mean I'm fucking Prussia, ho. Bitch, that mean I'm Prussia, ho. If somebody came up to me and said, you look African, bitch, you basically said I'm exotic. What? Bitch, you saying I'm exotic? Bitch, I feel like a zebra. Bitch, I feel like a fucking pelican or some shit. That's gonna make me feel fly as fuck. Like, you tooting my horn. I feel like you giving me a compliment. That's making me feel like, bitch, you saying I'm exotic. Because Africans are exotic. Bitch, you don't get no more exotic than Africans. If somebody tell me I'm African, bitch, I'm gonna ask them, what tribe you think I'm from? What tribe do you think I'm from? That's how I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Why the fuck are y'all taking it as offensive that Africans are saying that we look like them? Bitch, I'm finna call all y'all out. Because if they say that you look like a native indigenous person, you will not be offended by that shit. If they, especially black people who have like looser texture hair, if somebody told you, oh, is you mixed with Puerto Rican? Oh, you mixed with this or that? You would not be offended by that shit. But because we're being compared to Africans, God forbid, because we are African, y'all offended by that shit. Why is that, bro? It's anti-blackness, because why are you offended that you're being compared to Africans? My God, I beg you guys to stop this shit. Y'all are pissing me off. Like, y'all, bro. I would say this. The only one logical argument I heard was, you know, somebody saying that they only say that to dark-skinned people, which is true. Y'all only compare dark-skinned people to Africans, because I never hear y'all assuming that lighter-skinned black people are African. Y'all never compare them. Y'all never assume like, oh, you mixed with African. Because, you know, light-skinned Africans do in fact exist. Just like light-skinned black Americans exist. Yeah. Light-skinned Africans exist all over. I don't really never hear y'all saying, is you African when it's a lighter-skinned person? I will agree with that argument. But still, nonetheless, if you're a black person and you're offended that someone's comparing you to an African, check yourself. Check yourself at the door. Because ask yourself, why does that offend you? If somebody ever tell me I look African as a black American, that's going to make my day. That's going to make my day, bitch. I'm going to be happy as smiling from ear to ear. You said I look what? I'm where? I'm going to go along with it. Yes, I am. Bitch, what tribe do you think I'm from? Yeah, I'm African. Yeah, I'm African.
And if we give them the chance of separating us from each other, if we give them the chance of dividing the black people across the world, making as enemies of each other, that will be the end of the black race. I am not saying we will cease to exist, but we will cease to prosper, because all hope is not gone. The black race can rise and do something one day. All hope is not gone. That is why the enemy is using one of us against us. The FBA is being found by some organization who don't want our togetherness. I am telling you what I perceive the situation to be. And you have every right to drop your comment at the comment section to tell me what you think, to tell me about your own narrative of what is going on. Black against black. This is not 18th centuries. This is not 16th centuries. This is not 17th centuries. This is a modern day. But yes, though, we allow ourselves to be used against each other, although we know our history. I don't think the FBAs do not know their African history. I don't think the FBAs do not know who they are. They know very well that they are Africans. But because of taking something from their own oppressor, they turn against their own kind. What is so much ashamed of being an African? I am asking the FBAs, the so-called foundational Black Americans, what are you ashamed of? Let me tell you, the land of Africa is the exact land that the person who is telling you to hate your fellow African want to occupy. They need that division. They have been seeing African Americans coming to Africa recently, and they are not happy. They want to create hatred and divisions among us at all costs. They want to divide and conquer. That has been their strategy. And that is still their strategy. That is what they are using against us. And I don't know why it is so easy to manipulate the black man. I don't know why it is so easy to control the minds of the black man. I don't know why we easily allow ourselves to be manipulated against each other. This is my grievances, that there is a common enemy who is pushing this narrative, using our own people against us. And we have to turn a blind eye to whatever that is going on. The so-called riches you see in the United States of America, it is a product of materials being stolen from Africa. So the Africa that you look down on, it is the source of the riches that you see in the US. The cars, the beautiful things that you see in the US, the gold chains, they all come from Africa. They take the materials from here. So why do you respect the upper part, but do not respect the foundation? You are running away from yourself, and you don't even know that you are superior, because the oppressor told you that you are inferior, and you have accepted defeat. This is all that I got to say to the black Americans who claim they are native, and end my argument here. You have accepted defeat, that you are inferior. That is the actual meaning of FBA, fear of being African, because you have accepted that you are inferior and you want to join them at all costs. My fellow Africans, my fellow black people who are enlightened enough, who are educated enough to know the truth, don't join them, because that is not the truth. You are an African, and be proud of who you are. A word to the wise, I say it is always enough. My name is Don Cyrus. Like the video, share it. Please drop your comment at the comment section. I will see you in my next video. I appreciate you. Stay awesome.